is like trusting them more to go up and get it. How have you seen that trust kind of evolve just in your time here?
It's been good. You know, I told these guys one of the things we always talked about where a previous institution I was is, hey, it ain't about the coach's got to trust you. The daggone quarterback's got to trust you to be in the right spot, right, be at the right time relative to when he's got to throw the football. So that's one thing we always preach in our room is timing and spacing relative to the quarterback. Those guys have worked really hard to get on the same page with Luke, and Luke's been awesome. Luke's patient with my guys, and my guys are patient with Luke, and they got a good chemistry.
Kind of hard to miss the blocking you guys did on some of the big chunk plays. Like, what did you see from them in that regard, and how, just for you, how critical is that component?
Yeah, that's the standard to play in our room, and I tell them, you know, that the standard's the minimum. So we always say you block for the rock, right? And if you want the ball, we're going to be team guys, and that was one of our keys to victory. It was making sure we're physical on the perimeter, and that's the edge we've developed in that room. The guys have really bought into it. I think they really enjoyed that part of it. You look at the game and how it's evolved in the NFL. You watch the Rams play and the Niners play. Those receivers are blocking. You know, so the more they put that stuff on tape, the better off they're going to be. So I think it helps you get open in the pass game as well. So it was good to see, man. We celebrate in our room. We're going to celebrate big time blocks more than we will a catch every day of the week.
Anyone give you like a block of the week that you kind of highlighted on tape this week?
No, you know, Colin Dixon had 2 knockdowns and Pat had 2 knockdowns, so they're in the running for the most knockdowns for the year. So it'll be a good competition.
What'd you see from, obviously a big touchdown from Malik, but what'd you see from him and kind of those reps that he got?
Yeah, the speed, which is that's been my message to him the whole time is, man, hey, look, dude, when you get out there and you play fast, you know, you can be as good as you want to be. It was good. It was really good to see him go out there and make plays and play with confidence.
How'd you unlock that?
Just trying to get him to be the same him every day. You know, I can't take credit for it. He's done a really good job of just being present every day. You know, that's what I tell him. Hey, listen, you ain't got to be perfect. You just need to be present. Like, be the best you. Be here. We talk about it walking in and out of the building. Like, be here. It's one of the first things we see when you walk in. So he's done a really good job of that this fall.
Colin Dixon, Barry talked about just consistency from spring all the way through. How did that turn up, and kind of was there a moment with him that you were like, all right, he started to get this here?
Yeah, you know, it was just the progressively through spring ball, man. It was like every day the kid did something, you know. Now, he wasn't perfect, man. He stretched his imagination, but, man, every day he showed up and he worked, and he's, like you said, he's just consistent. I think he only caught 1 ball the other night. He was right where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there, and that's just him. And he don't care how many balls he gets. He just wants to go help the team, that makes it really fun. All those guys in that room, man, they don't care who gets it. They just want to go win. And they're playing extremely hard, playing extremely physical, and doing it for each other, which makes it fun.
What's his versatility do for you guys?
Yeah, you don't really have to switch personnels a lot. You know, you can be in any personnel and put him, or he can play inside, he can play outside. We can do a lot of different stuff with him. There's a lot of flexibility as a coaching staff, and he's in there.
You guys, we've heard like depth. That's been a huge theme for you guys. Like, just how many guys functionally, how do you make that work in a game where there's only a finite number of snaps, and then when it gets a little tighter here moving forward?
Yeah, there's things you want certain guys in there for. The interesting thing is that everybody's skill set's so different. So and that's our job as coaches to figure out, hey, what does this guy do really well that we can utilize in his game plan? And then it's just about, hey, next man up, right? Just have a good rotation, try to keep everybody fresh. It's one of the things I've studied throughout my career is at what point did you get diminishing returns on play numbers? You know, so the lower we can keep everybody, the better off we're going to be. The guys can be fresh and go play fast.
Yeah, along those lines, reps for a lot of guys, production from a lot of guys. How valuable was it to lay down that film to kind of figure out what you got and who can help you in the later games?
Yeah, it was good. Always good to get out there and get live bullets. You know, it's one thing to do it in practice, but when you get out there, it's a live game with fans in the stands. Some guys can go out there and lose their minds. So it's really good to see our guys go out there and execute. We weren't perfect by any stretch, but I thought we played pretty clean, and we just got to continue to do that.
PFF only showed a couple of drops. It didn't seem like I didn't see any drops, but you know, how do you feel like they performed overall? You know, hands-wise, especially Malik, who's had some issues with some drops in the past.
Yeah, we had a couple. I grade those hard. If you get anywhere close to it, it's a drop in our book. So we grade those hard in our room. We've been doing that since we got here, though, and just making sure that those guys know the expectation. But yeah, you know, I was really proud of those guys. Really proud of Malik to see him get in there and make plays and play with confidence. And overall, I was really proud of the whole group. Now we just got to continue to go getting better every week. That's what I told them. We can't be satisfied where we are. We got to go get better this week and then the week after that. And just that's the sign of a good group, a mature group, right? Is when you can get better every single week.
Anybody surprise you? I mean, did anybody jump out like, hey, that guy's a gamer. Maybe he can help us, and we didn't know that he was going to be able to help us this year.
Not necessarily. I mean, I you know, when we scrimmage, Coach B does a good job of making our scrimmages feel like games, especially this fall. It's the first time I've played the scrimmages. We did pregame meal. We did all the stuff leading up. Now, you talk about getting your routine, you know, as coaches and as players. And I thought our guys did a really good job of taking that to heart. And I mean, it was our first game last Thursday night, but it felt like we had been getting ready for games with the two scrimmages that we had too. So I was really pleased with the group.
You scored 45 in the opener. I assume that's acceptable. But was there points left in the game all day? You could add more or not?
Yeah. I mean, you know, you look at that the one deep ball that they called incomplete with Rick McCarty. Obviously, you know, it would be good to have those points there. But you know, it's never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems. There's things that were left out there, but overall, pleased.
That kind of performance, how much can that carry over the next game? Was it kind of new deal?
Yeah, it just gives everybody confidence, right? You get confidence. You know, everybody. It's always it's a lot easier to fix things off a win than it is off of a loss, right?